All right, guys. In this part, we're going to go over ways to avoid loser products. And we definitely always want to try to avoid any products that we're going to lose money on. And unfortunately, it will happen at some point, but we do our best to avoid this from happening at all costs. So I'm going to go over again a few of the ways I look at items to decide whether or not, I feel like it's a loser or a winner. And we kind of went over some of these before, so some of it will be a little bit repetitive, but again, that's the name of the game. Basically, doing the same thing over and over again because there's so many items out there. You're going to keep finding winners, keep finding losers. Name of the game is to keep replenishing your winners until they're not profitable anymore and to continually search for the new items that are profitable. And you rinse and repeat that process for as long as you want. All right. So the first thing I'm always looking at, and I know we've talked about it before, is the reviews and the rating. And the reason why we do that is because reviews, so they say rule of thumb, someone leaves a review for one out of every 100 to 200 times the item is ordered. So in that case, if you see one review on an item, the rule of thumb is that that item's been ordered between 100 to 200 times. And that's just a rule of thumb. Of course, there's outliers. Maybe someone ordered it once and they left a review that first time and then no one else bought it. But just knowing that there's more reviews means people are buying it, the product is moving, and that's always a good thing. The next thing we always check is using the rating. So we'll pull up Martyr here. And you can see the rating of the product is 4.7, 55 reviews. So, and the reason why we check the rating, because let's say the item has a 1-star rating, and then you'd want to check out why, because maybe the listing doesn't match the product, or the product is bad and the customers return it a lot. So again, you want a high rating and lots of reviews, at least one or two, to know that the item's moving. And next thing, if you're using Nepeto to source, you want to try to find high ROI items, so high gross profit items. So something like this, maybe you sell these types of items. You might want to export it to the Excel sheet to keep an eye on, but you want to try to make, a good percent of money. So even though you buy it for 10, you can make $1.50 off it. Try to find something a little higher. Unless this thing's, selling 200 times a month, you could make 200 times $1.50. But that's something to think about. And one other thing I didn't really mention. So another way to find winners and avoid losers is to do test buys. So you might hear that term around if you're on social media, but what that just simply means is, let's say we want to buy this item, even though, it's potentially making $1.55. Instead of spending, $100 and getting 10 of these, maybe we just buy 3 or 2 to kind of see how it sells. And that way you kind of are building your own data. So you can see, what? I bought 3 and it took me, the whole month to sell the 3. So I only made, $1.50 times 3 is $4.50. So it's like, do you really want to buy more? No. But then you can keep the data from that. So you knew you sold 3 a month. And let's say this price goes up on Walmart from $13.58 up to $19.99. So then okay, well, I sold 3 before. If I sell 3 again, I'm going to make that, potentially that, added $6 per item. And again, with it being that much higher, it might slow down. The sales rank might slow down too. But it's just, again, going off of your data and doing test buys is a huge thing. And that's why another thing is that you try not to go all in on one product. So if you only have $1,000 to spend and you're like, you know what? I just want to buy all of these. So you use your money, get all 1,000 of this item. And let's say Walmart comes on the listing at $5.99. Well, now because your money is all tied up in this product, you got to sit there and wait until Walmart either sells out, or if you desperately need your money to pay off credit cards or whatnot, you have to sell it at a massive loss. So just like the stock market, you try to be diversified in the products you purchase. So, if you have $1,000, maybe you only spend, again, three. So $30 on this, you know, $30 on a couple of these. Like you spread out your money. And one other way too to help avoid losers is you don't want all of your money and inventory in just one brand. So like let's say you bought all Nintendo stuff and all of a sudden Nintendo becomes like it gets removed from Walmart for some reason. Well, there goes all of your business, right? Because you only have Nintendo. So that's another way to avoid losers. And I know I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, but it's just these are things to think about. So try to test by items. And then again, we look at the review and ratings. And, we have to use our calculator. So we have to use Martyr to let us know if this is profitable, how much money we're going to make. And again, we have to size up our competition. So look, yeah, Walmart's in stock with us. So they would crush us. Now, maybe you get this for $1 or something, then you could, take some sales away from that. But these are all things you need to think about and ways to help avoid losing your money and selling on these marketplaces.